Hello everyone, welcome back to Love Yourself Slim with Jo. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I wanted to put a video together to show you what comes in a starter pack for all my new clients. So I'm just going to run through all the information that you get from day one to help support you on your way. And also at the end I'm just going to show you what I give to clients as they reach their milestones as a little symbol of recognition as well. So here we go. So my clients all receive a starter pack when they start their diet. It comes with all the literature they need. It comes in a little folder like this. So I just wanted to show you it all comes in one of those. The most important thing that you can have on this diet when it comes to literature is your steps booklet. This literally covers everything you need. It's got food lists for the higher steps if you're going to be following one of those and you need to know how many calories in this, how many calories in that. But even if you're not going to be on one of those steps, it's got all the information about how the plan works, some FAQs, some information about whether and when you should exercise depending on your step, best cooking methods, everything. Everything's in there, so that is really important. Go home and have a read of that on day one. You'll definitely see the benefit of that. Okay, so the next and perhaps next important thing is your weight and measurement card. So everybody gets one of these. We fill in the front with your details, your target and everything. There's also space for me or you, depending on whether you're coming to see me face to face, to fill in your weight every week, and also there's space for your measurements as well. It's really handy to do measurements as well, because sometimes you can have a perfect week on plan and the scales won't reflect that, and you can feel really disheartened and it's really demoralising and just generally makes you feel awful. But on that same week you could have seen a loss on the measurements, right around your waist or something like that. It's very odd how it does it, but it does happen all the time. So it's great to have a backup way of measuring your success on top of the scales, because they're only just one way of doing it. So during COVID times, I'm not able or allowed to help you with your measurements. I can help tell you where to take them, where I would take them, so you get an accurate figure every time, but I'm not actually able to do them even if you come to the office. So everybody gets a tape measure in with their starter kit as well, and like I said, I'm more than happy to help direct you how to do it, but you need to do it. Okay, this is something that I've only recently added to my starter pack. It's just a little printout, nothing much to it, but it's a declaration that I fill in with my clients again from day one. So it's just really, it's the importance of having an end goal and an end date in mind. Starting any new challenge, I think is probably a fair word to use, is a great feeling, but you kind of want to know when you're going to hit the target or reach the peak or whatever it's going to be. So just starting something that's open-ended is all too easy to sort of fizzle out, whereas if you've got a proper aim that you're going for, it's much easier to stick to it. So what I have on here is something where you list your start date, how much we're going to get you to lose, which step you're going to follow, at least to start with, how long that will take to get there based on the average losses that I see with my other clients and other clients elsewhere in the country, generally on the plan. Then working up the steps from there will take however long. Usually we work that based on 2 weeks on each step, but obviously if it ends up being longer, that's okay. And then, so I will have completed my journey on or before, and we'll work out a date. And then we work out what those in months. So it might be, I want to lose 3 stone on step 2, for example. Then it's going to take me 2 weeks on step 3, 2 weeks on step 4, 2 weeks on step 5, 6 weeks to learn to stabilise it. So it's going to be 3 months to lose 3 stone on step 2, hopefully. That's the average, I'm allowed to quote that, but obviously we're all different. It could be a bit faster, could be a bit slower. 3 months plus 6 weeks is going to be 4.5 months. So in there, 4.5 months of putting a lot of effort in, and you've done it, and you're ready to maintain for the rest of your life. So client signs that, I can do this, pin it up on your wall and look at it every day, because that really will help keep the focus. Okay, other bits and bobs. So also in your welcome pack, you receive some leaflets with information on that will really help. So this one is the Mythbuster. There's lots and lots of myths that go around about any what is deemed to be a liquid-only diet. Obviously this isn't that. It would have been back in the 80s when it first started out as the Cambridge diet, but not anymore. Not only are more of our products probably solid than they are liquid, but equally, obviously, we have the with food plans as well, so it's really not as cut and dry as that. But a lot of people will have those misconceptions, and this will give you and them the true answers so that they can be correctly informed. You have top 10 tips for success and maintenance on the back of that one as well. And this one, again, gives you other hints and tips. And then on the back, you have a what have you lost section, which I think is really interesting. So when you've lost £1, which looks like this, by the way, that's what £1 looks like. That's a scientific replica, apart from the glitter that seems to have fallen on it, of fat. So that's the sort of thing they would use in medical school. It weighs right, it's the right texture, and it's horrible. But that's what £1 is. So when you say you've only lost £1, it's that much. It's a lot. But that weighs the same as a guinea pig. If you've lost £12, that's the same as a bald eagle. If you've lost £90, that's the same as a newborn calf. So it's quite handy and quite funny on some of them to see what you have lost. You also get some trackers as well. So this one is a weekly one, so I can replenish those. If you really like them, obviously you can have one every week with your order, but it's just for ticking off what you've had and keeping track of your water every week, just for your own use. I don't need to see it, obviously, but it's just for you. Different things help different people stay motivated, so it's basically just trying to cover all the options and you tell me what works and what doesn't. We also have a 30-day challenge, which is a standard one-to-one thing that a lot of people will refer to on social media and things like that. So that's your chart for that if you want to get involved. So it's a 30-day tick off, and also you can count down the pounds that you've lost on the other side as well. And it just also has some space for start and goal weight and why you're doing it on the back if you want to use that too. We also have our magazine. You might have seen it on some of the other videos, it's been mentioned as well, but it's a regular magazine that comes out that has success stories for slimmers and consultants, recipe pages, general information, before and afters, just a bit of everything, something to keep you busy while you're trying to stay distracted from wanting to raid the fridge. Okay, so also we have a little packet. This is something I put in as well. It's a little packet of samples of our water flavourings, because obviously the last thing you really want to do is buy a big tub and then find that you don't like it. We're all different. Some people love some of the flavours and other people can't stand them, like with everything. So I also include a little bag that has a little sample of each for you to try before you buy or commit to anything more. And then finally, I also put one of these leaflets in as well. So this is just a very, very basic leaflet that covers the business opportunity that comes with the one-to-one diet as well. So not only am I here to support slimmers, obviously that's my most important job, but also I do like to tell people how much I love being a consultant as well. And for me personally, it gives me the opportunity to get out of the house. My other job is a full-time carer for my son. So on the one day a week that my husband is able to take off work, I come to work and I get to be here and be me rather than mummy just for a bit. I'm sure a lot of parents can associate with that. It's nice to have other things. As much as being a parent is amazing, it's lovely to do other things and be yourself. So lots and lots of consultants work from home. Some are what we call mobile, where they only go to other people's houses. Obviously during COVID, that's very much just on the doorsteps. But in the old days, when they were allowed to, they would go in, take their mobile scales with them, and sit and have a chat that way. And for me, it's an office, as you can tell. So I've got a little unit here that I love to come and escape to. It's my little sanctuary, and I love seeing people here, and it gives me people to talk to, and I just generally and genuinely love it. So there is always the option of becoming a consultant yourself. There's a million different reasons why you might want to. It might be financial, it might just be for a bit of freedom, it might be all sorts of different things. You might be facing redundancy in your own job. This is the sort of job where you can literally do the bare minimum just to provide products for yourself and maybe friends and family. And there's absolutely no obligation to go bigger or better than that. Or if you really want to, you can reach for the sky and you can go on these amazing champion holidays, which are just amazing. I mean, the people have been to everywhere. I can't even think of them all. They're going to the winners are going to Miami next year, COVID allowing, hopefully by then. People are going to Goa, Marbella. There's too many. South Africa. There's too many to think of. But they are incentives that are there if you want to go down the really, really, really immense business side, which would be amazing. But if you are interested in one way or the other, and there is literally no obligation to do any of it, then there's some information in that leaflet that you can read on the starter as well. And then if you ever want to bring up the subject with me, it's already there and we can chat about it. So that's it for my starter pack. And then I just wanted to let you know that as people get through their milestones, I also give people a little certificate each. So I normally do this for half a stone and then every stone after that. So you get a little collection of certificates, and then from all the stone losses, you get a lovely little rosette which has got a magnet on the back, so you can pop it on the fridge and it can remind you every time of how far you've gone. So I've got some lovely slimmers who've got a collection of quite a few of those going on the fridge now. And you know, some people that really means a lot and makes a lot of difference. If you don't want them, that's fine too. But I just wanted to let you know. Pre-COVID times, I also had a basket in the office which had a few little cheap goodies like face packs and lip balms and things like that in there that you could help yourself to whenever you hit a milestone as well. But obviously that's not really in use at the moment. But hopefully one day we won't have to worry about restrictions and hygiene to that sort of extent anymore. We can go back to normal life, and that will be available again. But yeah, so that's everything I think we wanted to talk about on this one. So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Take care.